Morning everybody, Noah with Madison Angling, and late last night my customers for today canceled on me. They had some stuff come up, kind of a family emergency, so I have the day to go fishing, and it's going to get stupid hot today. It's going to be in the mid 90s, even maybe into the upper 90s. Either way, over 90 just sucks. So I have a few hours this morning before it gets real hot out to go do some fishing, and I figured this was a great opportunity to come out and shoot a video for you guys. So today I'm on one of my favorite lakes, Lake Mendota here in Madison, and we are going to target walleye and smallmouth bass. We're going to do the multi-species drop shot thing. I did a video on drop shots a couple years ago, and it was really technical, and it was mostly just sitting there talking about stuff, not so much actually fishing. So today we're just fishing. I'll explain things as I go, but I'm just gonna fish. This is probably my favorite technique day in and day out for catching lots of fish, as well as some really big fish in the summertime. You can catch literally anything that swims on a drop shot, and definitely one of my go-to rigs, especially if things get tough. You got a real hot day like today, water temps are gonna spike. Drop shots are probably gonna be absolutely killer. So like I said, I got a few hours this morning before it gets crazy hot. We're gonna go catch some fish. Let's go. Alrighty, we're here, first spot of the morning. Fishing a little point here with some rock, a little bit of scattered weeds on it, and we're gonna do a little drop shot in here, guys, so let's get set up. Alrighty, so I gotta do a little bit of rigging up here. We kind of switched gears a little bit yesterday and took a different approach with my drop shot rods here. So I'm gonna show you guys how I rig up a drop shot real quick. There's so many different ways you can do this. You can get the drop shot specific hooks. You can get the hooks that have a little swivel in the eye of the hook. I'm going old school. I'm just using an octopus hook here, guys. So I've got a number 2. This is an eagle claw offset octopus hook, and I've got a 16th ounce drop shot weight here. And one little trick, guys, if you look at the wire keeper on here, it's pinched, and what you're supposed to do with a drop shot is put the line through, pull the line into it, and it stays there, right? They almost never do. So what I do instead, and I still want this to be the sacrificial piece of my rig if I get snagged, is I tie a really crappy knot. So I'll do 1, 2 twists, run the line back through the loop, and then snug it up on the end of the little wire on the swivel there on the weight. That way this knot really is kind of weak, it kind of sucks. So if I do get snagged, it's a good chance that I'll break this off and I'll get my hook back. And as far as attaching the hook goes, again, guys, there's so many different ways you can do this. This is how I do it. It works great. Is I tie a Palomar knot. So I'm going to go about 15 inches above my weight, double up the line, run it through the eye of the hook, tie an overhand knot. Make sure you got enough tag end here that you have a nice sized loop that you can put the hook through. Always moisten the line. This is 8-pound fluorocarbon. There we go, done. Super simple. So I'm gonna get a couple more rods set up here real quick. And also, I got some new rods, guys. I am actually rocking the Fox River rods this year. They're awesome, Wisconsin-based company. They make amazing rods. I am rolling with the 7.3 medium light. This is a killer all-around rod for all kinds of different stuff, whether you're pitching jigs, if you are drop shotting, doing any kind of live bait rigging. Heck, we were fishing bluegills with this a couple weeks ago with bobbers. Things are absolutely killer. I've got an Epixer Okuma spinning reel on here. This is a 2000 size, and got this spooled up with 8-pound fluoro. Absolutely dead on, perfect action, perfect combo for drop shotting. Absolutely love this thing. Alrighty, so we are in Wisconsin, so I am taking advantage of the fact that we can have 3 lines a piece, and drop shots are a great way to maximize your 3 lines. So on this guy, I've got a fathead minnow. We're gonna drop this guy right over the side of the boat. What's nice about drop shotting is you can have a rod that you're fishing actively, that you're casting, moving around, and then you can have a couple lines that are just sitting in a rod holder, just like that. And I did get some new rod holders this year, guys. These are Fin Gear rod holders. I'll have a link in the description below, but they're super cool. They're really pretty much infinitely adjustable. You can move them anywhere you want to, track mountable, and they have these really cool rings on here. Those are for trolling, so you can keep track of how much line you have out on each of your rods. So super sweet, very, very impressed with these. So anyway, first line is in the water. I've got a fat head on that one. On my other rods, we are gonna run a piece of night crawler. And I know that might sound a little goofy, like really, you use worms? Why aren't you using plastics? Well, the simple reason is I just like to catch fish, guys. Unless I'm fishing a tournament and it specifically says no live bait, I love live bait for doing this stuff. It's just the perfect delivery device for something super finesse. So just a little piece of crawler, about a half of a smaller night crawler. We're gonna send that guy down all the way to the bottom. We're in about 15 feet of water here. And I like to leave just a little bit of slack in the line. So that way, as the boat rocks, it's not jigging the bait, it's not lifting everything up off the bottom. It stays pretty well stationary, just kind of chills there. So we've got a piece of night crawler on this one, a minnow on the other side of the boat, and I'm gonna cast around the one little chunk of worm I have left here. Just that little tiny dude, basically like almost a third of a normal night crawler. That guy was pretty small. So fire this out there. Let's see what we catch. Again, you know, the target here is smallmouth and walleyes, and really you can catch pretty much anything on a drop shot. You can catch panfish, you catch plenty of pike throughout the year on these. It really is a pretty killer technique for catching just about everything that swims. There we go. First fish of the morning. Feels like a smallie. Is he gonna jump? Oh! No, but he is going to kick my butt. Awesome. So guys, you may have noticed when I got that bite, I didn't set the hook on it. I just started reeling. And the reason for that is sometimes the hook isn't going to be pointed perfectly straight up and down. Come here, buddy. There we go. Awesome. Beautiful fish. So sometimes that hook isn't going to be pointed perfectly straight up and down. And if you go to swing on them, I mean, he's hooked absolutely perfect right there at the top of the mouth. If you go to swing on them, it's really easy sometimes to pull it right out of their mouth if the hook isn't pointed straight up and down, which sometimes it's not. So if you just reel on them, there we go. If you just reel on them, that hook will rotate in the fish's mouth and will find a soft spot and you'll hook them. Absolutely beautiful. That's probably about a, I don't know, 16, maybe knocking on 16.5 inch beautiful Lake Mendota smallmouth. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, thanks, buddy. So here's a good example of that, guys. If you look at my hook, I'm holding the line tight here. You can see how it's pointed down, and that's fine. That's okay, because we're not setting the hook. We're just reeling into the fish. So that hook rather, will rotate, find a soft spot in the fish's mouth, lock in, and that's where having the right action rod really comes into play here. So these Fox River rods have a really nice soft tip to them, and then you get about, about 15, 16 inches down the blank here from the tip, and it really loads up nice and heavy. So you have a nice light tip to kind of lean into the fish, and then you're into the backbone in about 2 cranks of the reel. That hook is set, and you got a fish. So we're gonna bait back up, see if we can catch another one. Well, spot number 1 was good for a real nice smallmouth and a couple rock bass. That's about it. So we are gonna get the heck out of here. Go fish some mid-lake structure, fish some rock. And typically this spot that I'm on right now is more of a late morning to afternoon spot. Seems like the fish just don't get super fired up here until later in the day, but it was right here, so figured I'd give it a shot, and hey, it was good for a fish. So we're gonna make a little boat ride here, get set up on spot number 2. There we go. This one just got picked up, guys. So what I'm gonna do, the first thing I do is open the bail, pull the rod out. That way the fish doesn't feel the resistance of you pulling back on it. Now I'm just gonna reel down. There he is. Got some head shakes. Digging down, what do we have? We got ourselves a nice walleye. Beautiful walleye. Awesome. Pretty much exactly what I was hoping to run into out here. So at spot number 2, we've got basically this mid-lake rock structure. What a beautiful Beautiful Madison walleye. So we have this mid-lake rock structure here, and we've had wind, pretty consistent wind the last 2 days blowing over the top of this. And what it does on a lake this size, on 10,000 surface acres of water, is it creates a current. It actually creates a wind-driven current, and that pulls lots and lots of fish out of deeper water and puts them right up on top of the structure. Try to get my worm back here too. Can I have it back, buddy? There we go, got it back. All right, nice little walleye, probably about 16 incher or so, maybe a hair over. Just beautiful, beautiful fish. Alrighty, buddy, see you later. What that does is you get a little bit of wind-driven current, and that pushes, or pulls rather, a lot of fish up out of a little bit deeper water, maybe hanging off the break, and pulls them up on top to feed. So that's kind of what we're after here on this particular spot, is using this current to our advantage. These fish are up on top of the structure here feeding. Oh, this one just got picked up, guys. Again, just dropped it back down. So again, open the bail, reel down on him. There he is. Fish on. That feels like another walleye, another little walleye. Is he gonna shake and fling my night crawler off? Nope, he didn't. Cool, get to keep my night crawler. See if we can catch a third walleye on this guy. Just a little one. But the walleyes are up here chewing right where they're supposed to be. Absolutely awesome. There we go. Picked up on the night crawler. Oh yeah. Decent fish. Oh yeah. Come here, buddy. Come on up here. Real nice smallmouth. So a question I get a lot. Oh yeah, that's a stud. A question I get asked quite a bit is, why don't you run? Oh wow, that's a real good one, guys. I bet you that's 18 all day long. Look at that thing. What a beautiful fish. So a question I get asked all the time, guys, is why don't you use slip bobbers? All right, buddy. Thanks for playing. Beautiful fish. So the answer is I do. I actually do use slip bobbers quite a bit. However, there's certain applications that I like drop shots better for. And in a lot of cases, I'll actually use them both kind of at the same time. So for me, slip bobbers are a, kind of a broadcast game. I want to get my bait out away from the boat. I want to cover some water while I'm sitting in one spot. I know, there's power corking, kind of goes, the other direction with that. I'm pinpointing a spot and I'm really focusing in on it. But that's what I like to do with drop shots, is I actually like to kind of focus on very kind of tight and particular spots. So the spot I'm on right now is actually pretty small. It drops off pretty deep on both sides of the boat here. And if I put a slip bobber out, which I do occasionally on this spot, it's hard for me to ensure that my slip bobber isn't hanging over 50-60 feet of water, and that it's actually right where I want it to be, kind of in the butter zone here. So with the drop shots, I don't have to worry about that. Instead, I can just drop them right over the side of the boat, and I can fish close to the boat. And I know that because I can set the distance between my weight and my hook exactly where I want it, that is exactly where my bait is being presented in the water column, versus a slip bobber where there is a tiny little bit of guesswork there, especially if you kind of drift off the structure a little bit with your float. So I use both. But for me, I really like picking apart structure with a drop shot. I think it just is a little more thorough way of doing it. I will do them in conjunction with slip bobbers at times, but overall, especially on smaller pieces of structure, kind of a spot on the spot, I like to pick it apart. Personally, I like to pick it apart better with a drop shot rig. There we go. Not a real big fish, but another Waldo. Hey, buddy. Man, they are digging the crawlers today. Crawlers are like almost 10-1 against minnows. Pretty little fish. Man, I should have brought more night crawlers. I'm gonna run out. There we go. There's another fish. What do we have here? Another walleye. Okay. Little trick too, guys. These smaller walleyes, you know, it's probably a 15 incher or so. Basically 16 inches and smaller. Look at that hook just pinned perfectly right in the corner of the mouth. They love to twist and shake and do all kinds of crazy stuff as soon as you pull them out of the water, which includes ditching your night crawler. So I try to get them in the boat as quick as I possibly can. I'll just flip them into the boat. I can try to save my night crawler so I don't just fling it out of the side of the boat and it disappears into the abyss. Guys, I thought I was gonna have a little longer to fish today before it got really hot, and I was wrong. It's getting really hot out, and I'm gonna get the heck off the water and get ready for my guide trips here tomorrow, do some stuff around the house. But anyway, it was a fun, quick little run out here, catch a few fish on some drop shots, and just wanted to show you guys one of my absolute favorite ways to catch fish in the summer, especially when it gets super hot out. It's just like the ultimate finesse way of fishing. You can ensure that your bait is presented exactly where you want it in the water column in relation to the bottom. And it's such an easy way to catch fish. You know, the rod holders caught most of the fish this morning. It's so easy to do with kids. You can come out, throw some rods and rod holders, just wait for them to bend over, and you catch just about anything. Walleye, smallmouth, rock bass, panfish, you know, bluegills, perch, crappies. You can catch literally anything. And no, drop shotting isn't just for largemouth bass, and it isn't just for smallmouth bass, and you don't have to use plastics. Leeches, a piece of night crawler, and minnows are staples in my boat if I just want to come out and catch fish. So thank you guys for tagging along with me today. And by the way, we got to use our new Fox River rods. I've been using them for about a month now and absolutely love them. They're sweet rods based here in Wisconsin. And if you guys want to check them out, be sure to use my code MAD10. I will have that linked in the description as well, capital MAD 10. And that'll get you 10% off on your order from Fox River Rod. And if you guys have bought rods, and especially bought rods online and shipped them, you know how expensive it is to do that. So 10% adds up real quick, guys. So be sure to go check those guys out. I will have them linked in the description below. I'm gonna get the heck off the water because it is not nice out here. I am burning up. So thank you guys so much for watching. Give the drop shots a shot this summer if you want to catch some fish, especially on hot, nasty days. I'll see you guys on the next video.